jumping straight in, I'm starting off with the Too Faced Hangover Primer to prime the face. Using that same brush, I took the MAC Strobe Cream to add a nice glow to the face. For foundation, I used the Nars Sheer Glow foundation in the shade Figi and Gobi and just mix these two together to get the right shade. Use that same brush to just apply the foundation and blended it out with a beauty sponge. So this client wanted sort of more of a natural bronzy and glowy look, so I'm not applying too much foundation. And then using the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla to highlight under the eyes and applying that to the forehead and chin. Just applied it with a brush and then blended it out with a beauty sponge. And then just taking the Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder just to set underneath the eyes and anywhere that we put the concealer. I then use the Nars Liquid Laguna Bronzer just to bronze up the face a little bit. For contour, I'm just taking the Hoola Bronzer and just sort of carving up the cheekbones and taking that up the temples and forehead as well. For blush, I just took the Mineralize blush from MAC in the shade Warm Soul. Just a nice subtle blush that suits a lot of skin tones, just nice and glowy. Then for my favourite part, highlighter, I took the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Whisper of Guilt, and I'm just applying that to all the high points of the face, so the cheekbones, temples, tip of the nose and Cupid's bow. Then for the brows, I just took the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade in Blonde, and I'm just sort of lightly carving out the natural shape of her eyebrows. This client had sort of nice natural feathery brows, so I'm just trying to keep that shape. And then just going over them with this clear brow gel just to sort of feather them out a little bit and set them in place. To prime the eyelids, I'm just taking that same Nars concealer and just sort of carving out the underneath of the brow and dragging that down the lid and blending it out. And I'm just using the Zoeva Soft Concealer Brush, which is amazing for carving out underneath the brows. So to start off with the eyes, I took the shade Love Letter by Anastasia Beverly Hills and sort of just started packing that onto the crease, not blending it in, just packing it on, trying to build up the colour. So then with a fluffy blending brush, I just took the shade Burnt Orange from Anastasia Beverly Hills and just used that to blend the colours together. I then took the shade Cherry Cola from Geek and applied that to sort of the outer corner of the eye just to darken it up a little. I then went in with a bit of the shade Love Letter and just sort of blended everything out together. For the lid shade, I just used the Zoeva Cocoa Blend palette and I took the shade Warm Notes and just applied that all over the eyelid. Then just going back in with that Cherry Cola shade just to blend in nicely with the lid colour. Then using the shade Shimma from Geek, I just used that to highlight the inner corners and the brow bone. And then just doing a thin wing and using the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Eyeliner, and I just took the shade Love Letter and sort of smoked it out underneath the eye. Then just took the shade Cherry Cola and applied that closer to the lash line. Then just using the Inglot 77 Gel Liner to just line the waterline. Just applying a bit of mascara, not adding any lashes, just as this client had lash extensions. For the lips, I used the Jeffree Star Liquid Lipstick in the shade Celebrity Skin. It's just a nice matte brown nude. And then I used the Mecca Lip Luscious in Nude over top to add a bit of gloss. To finish off, I just took the MAC Goldlite Fix Plus to set the face. And that is the completed look.